Bloody hell, that was quick. I've only just got the notification. Hold on, just doing my normal, not being organised as per usual. You know me. Some things will never change, huh? Well, if I was an established, well versed in how to do it YouTuber, then you wouldn't get from me what I give, because it would just be too polished, wouldn't it? So you've got to take the bad with the good. Sometimes I'm fun, sometimes I'm boring, trying to share and let people know. There's not many that come in anyway, so it doesn't really make any difference. Hello, Steve Willits, and hello, Tony Favell. How are you? It's a good day. It's Friday. I should have called it Thank Crunchy It's Friday. That's what it is. That's what today is. The day for the weekend. The day that we actually get to call the end of the week. And last one. I'm live. Not that I've got too much to talk about today. XRP Bags, how you doing, hun? Any more music out? You need to go and follow XRP Bags, everyone, because his music is amazing. Mike plays it on his channel a lot, and it's all about XRP. Chicken or egg, how you doing? So is everybody stoked, it being a Friday and all that sort of stuff? I know some people are working, Tony, but it's one of those things where we always look forward to a Friday, even if we're working on a weekend, I think. I worked 7 days a week for like years. Put the light on. Bloody mother's been in here. You're spoiling us, listening while getting ready to go out. Hello, Anne. At least you have a social life. Only time I actually get a social life is when I do the UK meet, so once a week. That's when I go out. You might find that I might glitch a bit. Oh, there we go. I might glitch a bit because my computer is reinitializing, because I switched it off last night and forgot. And I've got a really, really old laptop. And when I say old, I have to crank it and then leave it for absolute ages. It's got nowhere to land. I've covered my head. But yeah, so it takes ages to initiate, and then it's got to go through obviously all the startup procedures and everything like that. But I've jumped straight on anyway. But yes, Anne, I am absolutely green with jealousy. Yeah, I know. She's up there. She'll come or she won't. I haven't really given her any space to come on. Now she's just showing off. She's showing her wings. So yeah. So what's everybody up to this weekend? Anything at all? I'm just going to give a few more minutes, see if anybody else comes in. I've had a productive day today. I've been watching lots of YouTubes. Obviously, there was some FUD going around Twitter that somebody drew my attention to this morning. In fact, it was my brother, about some personal attacks on Charlie Ward, and then blow me down. He had a interview chat with our own Gordon Gekko, so Lord Gordon, and basically him and Brown Crypto, not Lord, Sir Gordon Gekko, and Brown Crypto Kid. So yeah, I know, sorry, oh crap. I mean, I'm a lady, don't you know? But yeah, so basically they had a really, really good, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go and see it. It was amazing. They grilled him a bit, and they done us proud. They've done the XRP community absolutely spot on, absolutely spot on. They got him to release a little bit more depth to what he's been saying, not giving away any secrets or anything like that, but you know, given a bit more background to sort of how he gets it, his background on everything that goes on. So that was really good, because he's I mean, he comes across as a genuine guy anyway, but he knows nothing about blockchain or cryptocurrencies or anything like that. So luckily, he's lucky sod, he managed to get in on XRP at 9 pence, which is yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he bought a bit. So so he is in the XRP community automatically because he's got some XRP. But yeah, it was an interesting chat, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And he really did. He didn't take offence. He kept it rather positive, and just basically made it so that it was a nice stream. Devon Steve, how you doing, honey? So yeah, so that was one of the sort of highlights of my day, because I quite enjoyed that. And he gave out some, because of some of the background, because you know, you never ever, you don't give price predictions and you don't give timescales. So so he faux pas, but unknowingly, on what he was talking about and in his previous streams. But like he says, he doesn't know anything about it, so he's only passing on the information that he's been given, and that was really quite nice. I mean, from 2 different sources, he's got 2 different amounts, so obviously there's a question mark on that, and the lower amount is a woohoo moment, and the upper amount is a woohoo moment. So yeah, go watch that. That was really quite illuminating, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I thought you might want to hear something about the man. So this is the start of the chat, because I'm not going to put any hype up, but this is the start of the chat that he had with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, just want to clarify, we are not financial advisors. So whatever we speak today, don't take anything literally. This is just us having a good, fun discussion. And yeah, I just want to start off by saying the video of you claiming XRP is pegged to gold. I mean, that has absolutely gone viral. That's all over Twitter. The XRP community, we're very intrigued, and we want to know more about you, Charlie. I'm pretty sure your viewers already know who you are, but us from the XRP community, we would love to know who you are, what you do, and cover a bit of your background.
By all means. Well, my journey started a number of years ago, because I work behind the scenes with a number of governments and a number of very, very wealthy Middle Eastern families and worldwide families. We move a lot of cash around for them. When I say cash, I talk about physical cash. A lot of these guys have serious amounts of cash outside of the banking system in private storage. They have their own storage facilities. The largest of my clients has something like $15 billion in cash, probably $7 or $8 billion in euros, euro cash. So US dollar cash and euro cash. And they carry this, and they carry gold, they carry precious metals, they carry guns. But then their own private storage facilities. And my responsibility has always been to move it to certain places, either to put it into the bank in certain countries so they can purchase something, but to basically look after it and move it around. And when you in the old days, I often say this as a joke, but it's not. There's an element of there's a lot of truth. I used to be on a private jet with a load of cash, with a load of beautiful women, cocaine and champagne. That was the good old days. But that disappeared when I met my wife 9 years ago. Those days are over. And now I tend to have diplomats or politicians and bodyguards and what have you that travel with me. And when you're stuck on a plane for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours with guys, you get to know them fairly well. And you get to know the same politicians from the same countries. And they talk about things when you're above the ground, in the middle of nowhere. They talk about an awful lot. And this journey started by talking a lot in private about certain things. And I was told 6 years ago they were going to shut down the world's economy and have a global financial reset. That was the first I knew about it. I went, yeah, whatever. That was 6 years ago. Then 2 years ago, they said, we're nearly there, Charlie. We're going to close down the world's economy. And we said, yeah, okay, whatever. And then December last year, they said, we're going to do it next year. I went, really? Let's wait and see. And sure as light is day, they shut down the world's economy in March on the back of a so-say common cold, which was downgraded to nothing more than a common cold. And I went, wow. And he managed to do that easily? Really? So when the journey started, I knew what the destination was, but I didn't know the journey. I had the 4 corner pieces of the puzzle. They were shutting down the world's economy for a global financial reset, and also replacing the old SWIFT system with a quantum financial system. That was what was spelled out. The rest of it I had to do myself, find out exactly what. And as we've gone through this journey, this quantum financial system, I have been given far more information than most people on this planet. When I say most people on this planet, I'm talking about also virtually every bank in the world doesn't know anything about it. But the people at the very, very, very top, where they've been pinging the message out since August the 2nd, know about it. So this quantum financial system, I was trying to investigate with my people. And they said, Charlie, this quantum financial system is going to be, it's going to use a blockchain technology. And I went, really? What's that? Isn't that to do with cryptocurrency? I went, yeah, exactly. And we're actually going to use one of the cryptocurrencies. And the reason we're going to use that particular one is it was set up originally to be backed by gold. And it's now discreetly being backed by gold. And we've made public when the system goes live. It's backed by gold. At the moment, it's private information. It's not public information. But it was set up. It was set up originally to be backed by gold, and it has discreetly been backed by gold. And it'll become public when the quantum financial system is launched, that it is actually backed by gold. That's what I've been told. Now, and when I say I've been told by some extremely powerful people, and I've had that backed up by a message I got first thing this morning from within the walls of power to say that my communication on that level was accurate. So I've heard it from a number of different sources. Now, I've had many people like yourself go, well, Charlie, XRP isn't actually backed by gold. And I said, well, maybe in your world it's not. But I've had many, many arguments when I've been in America. I have a grandson in Florida. When I go there and we go to Disney, I've been explaining to people for 20 years that the Federal Reserve is not actually owned by the American people. It's actually owned by the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. And it's a little boys' club where they print money. And I've had arguments shout me down saying, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just English. You're thick. I went, okay, I'm thick. I'm English. I don't give a shit. That's what I am. But you're wrong. And then, of course, now it's come out. And they're thinking to themselves, well, no, that's not what we were told. So there's a lot of things that happen that people are unaware of. And I've been blessed with them that I shouldn't know. But they've told me that it has been backed by gold, but it will become public knowledge when the new quantum financial system launches. And as far as I'm aware, and this was where I got named yesterday by the powers that be behind the scenes, that the new quantum financial system will be fully operational as from the 1st of September. You have to understand the SWIFT system, even though it will be closed down on the 31st of August, which is 10 days away, something like that. There will be a number of things on the system that will need moving across onto the quantum system, such as standby letters of credit, bank guarantees, etc., which were issued on the SWIFT system. And that will take, I would guess, a couple of years to move across, but they won't be operational. So that's where I've got my knowledge from. That's what I've heard. Now, Lee said to me, Brown Crypto Kid's on the game. He knows his stuff. And so Gordon know their stuff. So have these boys on. They can explain to everybody what's going on.
Well, this was a perfect intro for you.
Okay. So I've been speaking to a friend of mine. Oh, she's showing her wings again. And he's quite high up in a bank. And he said that Swift isn't going anywhere. So I think that there might be a misunderstanding on this, because if you've got a system that's going to take a couple of years to go over, then basically it's still going to be live. Now, the way that I understand ODL is that when people choose to move money, they are going to be given a choice. So if you move it by Swift, 3 to 5 days, X amount of money, and doing it that way. If you want to move it in a different way, ODL, XRP, it's going to cost you this, 4 seconds. So in a way, the new system is going to make the old system defunct anyway. So basically, I can't see that they're just going to switch off the Swift system, and that's something that my friend has actually sort of told me today. That nowhere in the scheme of the changes that are going on, and there are changes going on in the bank, there's nothing on there saying that the Swift system is going to disappear. They've got the Swift system is being changed. So I'm going to have a word with him next week, and he will give me a little bit more information about how that, so that my little pea brain can understand it. So basically, I think he's got it right, Charlie, up to a point, but I think there's a certain amount of assumptions that's been made when they're giving the information over to him, that aren't correct, because you can't just switch off a system overnight. It will take a couple of years to come across. Yeah, Devon Steve, and hi. But yeah, basically that's what they're saying, that it will take a couple of years. So there'll still be a Swift system there. It's just that if you've got the choice of moving money and it's going to cost you thousands of pounds to move it one way and a longer time, or next to nothing another way and 4 seconds, I mean, which one are you going to go for? So, you know, there's going to be a lot of FUD that comes out, and there's going to be a lot of misunderstanding. So Swift is not very swift, and it needs replacing, Justin. Yes, and that's what got me in the first place. I mean, it's 2 years ago. It was when a friend of mine turned around and said to me, "Do you know about the Swift system?" And I said yes. And he said, "What if I told you we could move money in 4 seconds?" I went, "Count me in. Sign me up." Where does that happen? And that's how I got into XRP. I've known this is coming for a very, very long time. The same way as we've all known that you know, and we've all had conversations about gold back XRP. You know, that's not pushing the boat out too far. We've also spoken about maybe XRP becoming the world currency. You know, that's our hope, obviously. You know, the same way as Bitcoin Ben hopes it's going to be Bitcoin that does it. So basically, you can get excited, but don't get too excited, because in previous ones, also Charlie said that, you know, you won't really know the difference because it's all being done behind the scenes. So, and what he said there was that the people high up know about it, but the people on the ground won't, because it's the back systems. So, you know, I can absolutely wholeheartedly believe that the quantum financial system is coming in, and soon. How much of it's going to take over 100%, I don't think so. Unless they did a test, didn't they? They tested every bank back on the 2nd of August, and that worked fairly well from what I understand. So I can imagine that it's tried, it's tested, but they're going to have to roll it out slowly, and they can't just ditch the Swift system while they're doing that, because hopefully there won't be many, but you know, there's going to be glitches. New systems all do. Billy says, new QFS without crypto regulations. Puff, pass, dude. It's not, you don't need to have regulations to move the XRP. I mean, that was clarified by Brad Garlinghouse, because it's, when you're moving XRP, you're not bringing it into the front end of the system, you're actually doing it through the back end. So, and I do believe you're absolutely right, Justin. He's either going to spectacularly get this right or fall flat on his face. And we all hope he's right. We all hope he's even part of the way right, because we'll actually see, you know, I don't believe it's going to happen overnight, but we will see that has started. You know, we've all been waiting for it, and it's something that makes sense. And obviously it would be used more and more. But you know, you hear about the new financial system, how it's going to be changed. Here in the UK, I can't see that it's going to change as spectacularly as in the US, because I think the US is going to go first, and then the rest of the world will follow on, because none of us are actually at the stage, because the Nasara side of things, they're rolling out in the US, but that's not coming to the rest of the world as yet. So I do believe, you know, that what they're telling Charlie is right, but I think that's for the US specifically. I don't think that's going to be the rest of the world yet, but there will be. It will be. I mean, it makes sense, and it's for something we've all been waiting for. So it's not a shock. It's not like we haven't been expecting this for however long you've been in crypto and known about XRP. This will be where we've heard that both systems are running side by side. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the right thing to do. You know, you've got to have your backup system when you put in new systems. Birds going nuts. When you've got new systems, then you need to have the backup there for if it falls over. You can't just assume it's going to run correctly from day one, especially not if you're doing it in such a large scale. But hey ho, countries will want the US involved. The US is very important to the global economy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And yes, it will run parallel. Hold on, it's jumped up. Parallel golden bars, huh, Steve? Right, XRP Magazine says, how about this? To us, it looks like it was switched off and the new system turned on, but to them, they still have it on in the background, slowly getting rid. That would make sense. Absolutely. Because there has to be a crossover. That makes all the scenarios correct. Yeah, that makes sense. Moneybags, how you doing, honey? We're either the smartest investors in the world or the craziest. I'd say both. I would say both. SPQR told us about running in parallel to Swift for 3 to 5 years. Yeah, absolutely. But again, people will be given the choice. I mean, it's a stupid choice to give people. Use the Swift system, 3 to 5 days, going to cost you thousands. Use the ODL or whatever system that they bring in behind the scenes, 4 seconds, next to nothing. I mean, which one? You're going to get the choice. Which one are you going to choose? Obviously, duh. It makes sense. I seriously doubt that. There's zero evidence to support that. There's no evidence to support any of it. You know, we've all been speculating for years, even before they started to announce the partners and the partnerships. You know, it was all speculation, but it's all coming to the fore. So why wouldn't it take this next step, which we've been expecting for years? You know, this thing was meant to go live in 2022. Do you know what? I think that I knew it. I think that maybe, come on, get off my head. I think that maybe it was supposed to go live in 2022 because of the ISO. But what a perfect opportunity during a pandemic to have a complete financial reset. they've got the perfect opportunity here to, the black swan event that we're living through right now just means that that if they bring it forward, that it stops a lot of sort of pain later on. So I think that it could happen. It might wait till 2022. We won't know. We won't know yet. The only time that we're going to find out is when we start seeing all the transactions going through XRP. Stop it. Not my ears. When we see the transactions on XRP. Bill, you can't say it's not happening any more than we can say it's absolutely happening. But Crypto Boo Boo, how can we contact you? I am XRP Boo Boo on Twitter. So you are the missing piece to our project. Oh, thanks. Stop it. Or you're getting off. Enough. Enough. No. Sorry. I think Quantum is waiting on Elon Musk's satellite train to be complete. Possibly, yeah, because that would get stuff moving quickly. But that would mean, I mean, it's going to be years before it's actually complete. Stop it. No, you can't get around me that way. No, no. I believe there's going to be an overhaul of how finance works, but not in the near future, and definitely not next month. We have a long way to go. Hodl and accumulate. Do you know what, Bill? That's not a bad way of looking at it. You know, if your expectations is it's going to take longer, then if it takes less time, you're going to be happily surprised. NRM says they need to speed it up, otherwise something else will become the new reserve. Well, you've got the trouble is the dollar's going. So there has to be something that steps into that space, because we need to have, they broke the petrodollar. So oil is no longer the backing for the dollar that way. So there has to, and the world is actually saying we don't want the American dollar. So there has to be something else that they all do agree that will become the new world currency. And it would be stupid this far down the line to not use a cryptocurrency. Right, you and me, hold on, wait a second. Get over there. No, put her back on her cage. Yeah, so it makes sense for it to be a cryptocurrency, because we change the world currency gets changed roughly 90 to every 100 years. So it would make sense, absolutely make sense to for it to happen now with cryptocurrency, with all the stuff's in the line. I mean, look at everything that's happening. Steve Willits is interested in some of the patents being released. Do you know what? If it's true, then that Medibed or Medbed, I'm really interested in that. Zerps has a vicious bite. No, she doesn't bite me. If she bit me, then it would draw blood, because they've got really strong. If you go for my ears, I swear to God, you and me are going to fall off. You're going to fall off. Go on, go. Yeah, if she bit me, she would draw blood, honestly. Her claws are really, really sharp as well. So she'll just keep coming now. NRM says, Bill Gould, Gould, there needs to be a standard agreed on. Yes, there does. There does. And it's the perfect opportunity for it. XRP Magazine says, I think something major will happen at the end of this month to distract people from the announcement between 28th of this month and 1st of September. DD1's in the house. Hello. Yes, absolutely. Everything is about distraction at the moment. Have you not noticed? I mean, they've turned around saying about this negotiation for Brexit, and everyone's eyes are now focused on this negotiation that's breaking down in Brexit. It's like, well, hold on a minute. if everything that we think is going to be happening happens, every country becomes sovereign to themselves. So that breaks up the European Union for a start. And there's a lot of countries that want to do that, and then everyone will revert back to their old financial system, which will be a digital lira, digital franc, you know, whatever it is. I can't see that won't happen, because under the European Union, right, you either have a super state for the whole lot and everyone gets treated exactly the same, or you go back to your own countries. But we've already decided to come out, and there's a couple of different countries that are making the same noises. Italy, is it Denmark? I mean, there's a lot of people in Holland, and even the Germans are basically saying that they're fed up with it. So, you know, there's an awful lot of dissatisfaction and bit of contempt coming through for the European Union project. So, you know, we were just the start. I think there's going to be more. And I think under the new system, rather than having a new world order, which hopefully will never come in, this new system is going to bring in, so every country is sovereign to itself, but under the basic guidelines of the GESARA, which I think is a really good way of doing it. You know, you agree as a world that you're going to have fair elections, you're going to have no more wars. You know, how good would that be, that the servicemen no longer are needed to go to other countries to put their lives on the line? I mean, that was a ridiculous situation in peacetime, but what they've had to do is keep us at war, which, look at the thousands, hundreds of thousands of servicemen and women around the world that's died, right? For politics. And that's all it is, for politics, because the elite decided that they want to go into a country with their central banks. And when the country decides that they don't want to, then they take it apart from within and destabilize it so that they can then get their central bank in there. I mean, it's, you know, and take the debt and take over the people the way that they've done it, and sausage machine starts all over again. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I woke up to that Afghanistan, and that's when it suddenly just hit me that these are pointless wars, and it's all to do with money, gold, precious metals, and precious gems. If they've got anything that's worth it to rape and pillage from the country, that's what they do, right? And it's, you know, what happened to South Africa. It's they were after the oil in all these different countries, and just destabilized it from within in order to do it. And it's pathetic. And these people that decided to do that, hopefully, are going to be held accountable, because they manipulate it so that it goes their way. And, you know, this whole world is just one big chess game to them. You know, it doesn't matter what country you come from. Rising Green says, a very good evening, guys and girls. I'm spending time with fam, so I can't partake for long. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. Bill says, exactly. I rely on cold, hard facts and evidence to support those facts. Bill, he was one of my favourite YouTubers. Oh, thanks, hon. XRP Magazine says, funny how crazy things have happened every week for the past 5 months, but it's been quiet now since Lebanon explosion. Something is brewing, a response attack maybe. I don't think so. I don't think so. Trump, I mean, he's brokering peace around the world, literally. You look at what he's done. I mean, he put Israel and the UAE together, and they've got a peace agreement. And he said there's more to come. And if he says there's more to come, there's more to come. We can't go into GESARA if there's any wars left. And that means that all the service people that are currently serving away get to come home, which is amazing. I think that's the best news ever. And basically, it's going to keep on going XRP magazine. It's going to all these different events they keep throwing at us. I think that's it's either the smoke screen because they're taken down, the good guys are taken down, like the Cabal stuff, which I think some of those explosions were for, or there'll be other stuff that comes up which will try to keep us fearful, because the Democrats, I don't think, have realised that the checkmate is literally a couple of moves away. They still think they can get this mail-in voting. I was watching, and it was really illuminating. I've been watching all of the Senate where they get people in and they have different discussions, and they had in the new guy that's taken over the postal service 60 days ago. I think it's 60 days ago. And they were grilling him and saying, you will do this and you will do that. And I want you to tell us that, you know, I want you to commit that you're going to send us all this information by Sunday. And he went, no. And you can tell. I mean, I don't know the different senators or Congress people or whatever it is. Don't particularly want to know, but I can tell the good guys from the bad guys by the way they talk to the people that are in front of them. I mean, it's the way they're talking to the sworn in people that come to discuss whatever that topic is. They literally, it's vile. I wouldn't say it's rabid. It's disrespectful, really disrespectful. What they say, how they say it. I mean, they turn the 5 minutes. You can guarantee 4 minutes of that is propaganda, right? Absolute propaganda. And you can tell that that's the Democrat. And then you look to the Republicans, and the Republicans are saying, I'm ever so sorry that they spoke to you like that. I'm so sorry that they've pulled you in on this, you know, and, you know, this Russia stuff. They keep on and on and on. You know, enough now. The world is bored of watching that. They keep hyping everything up and trying to pin this stuff on Trump. And it's been proven that he hasn't, but they won't let it go. And I find it really weird that the head speaker of the Russia probe, can't remember his name, little man, right, vile, absolutely vile, glasses, and he refuses. The Democrats keep saying, bring in Mueller, bring Mueller in, let's talk to the man who actually wrote the report, and he refuses. I mean, it's not logical. These people, they're showing themselves for who they are, but somebody somewhere needs to demote him and put somebody in that isn't going to, that's going to have an equal look on things or take on things, and allow the right people to come in at the right times. But I can see it. I don't know whether Americans just don't watch it, but I can see it, and I spend my days watching this stuff. I find it really interesting. I mean, I gave up looking at the UK Parliament because it's like a bunch of kids in a playground. It's embarrassing. But yeah, that's me. Bill says, in my honest, nothing will happen until a long time after the US presidential election. Plus, we're still dealing with this beer flu crap. Grrr. I think we're going to see some stuff come through. It'd be really good if the stuff that they've said is going to happen in October happens in October. I think that if they're saying that the quantum financial system is even partly going live in September, that it's going to be a lot of happy people who are going to have their debts forgiven. You know, you can see bit by bit that the Nasara is actually coming in, and you know, all that Trump is doing is positioning everything so that Nasara becomes a thing. I don't think you're going to have to wait until it's a long time after Trump wins, to be honest. Casual Crypto Guy says, I think a lot of countries have sussed out the EU now. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was I was berated by my peers for being pro vote leave, to pro leave in the EU. But I went to Strasbourg. I actually went to Strasbourg and spent time for the day in Strasbourg and saw how they work, and had the talk from the European Union's person, but also Gerard Batten who I class as a friend now because I've met him a couple of times, and we have really good chats about crypto, would you believe? And he's an amazing man. I mean, if you want somebody to lead a country, Gerard Batten is your man. He knows the legislation inside and out, and he really wants Logic to come back to Parliament and to stop the stupidness, the absolute stupidness. And his UKIP was UKIP until it was taken over by the Tories and dismantled from the inside out again. Steve says, I'm a thumbs up kind of posse. Absolutely. Thumbs up, glass half full. At the start of the year, I thought XRP was going to be Trump's trump card, so to speak, to get re-elected. I think his trump card to get re-elected, I think that's the payroll tax. The payroll tax and the peace treaties that he's done all around the world. I mean, he put North Korea and South Korea together. You know, this is the man that they said had his finger on the button, and we would be in World War if he got in. You know, he's not trustworthy enough, and he's a disgusting human being. And yet, look at all the good he's done. I mean, it's fantastic. I want a Trump to run the UK. But I also hope that John F. Kennedy comes back. That would be amazing. The junior. If they do, that would be bloody fantastic. Rising Green says, I've been right through the whole new King thing again. I did 4.5 hours solid whilst on a train. Some really interesting information. I can highly recommend taking it all in. Do you know what? I'm on the fence on that one. I'm part of me is desperate to believe that we could have somebody who'd be good for the country. After all that we find out about the Queen and the way that the royal family is, and just how corrupt it all is, that whole system. You know, I even thought maybe being a republic would be a good idea, but I love having monarchy. I like the idea of having the monarchy. I was a royalist. It's just that we got the wrong royals in. So if it works out that he's actually a royal and he's got some great ideas, I think that having a change would be an absolutely amazing thing to happen. It would herald a new start for the UK for a start, definitely. Steve says, is the new King thing, Mr. Green, a Plantagenet? Rising Green says, I was the only person on the whole train without a face mask. I stood tall. 2 train stations, 3 trains. No one said a word to me this time. Watched families and friends sat on a packed train. It just amazes me, the sheeples, honestly. Bill says, Bowie, the tree of liberty must be replenished from time to time with the blood of patriots. That's just how it works. Sad but true. Nobody has to die. There doesn't need to be any spilling of blood. You want to stop all this shit that's going on in the US? Apart from the fact that you can actually send the army in and break it all up, get the mothers out there of the people that are being disgusting. You know, the Antifa and the Black Lives Matter movement people that think it's great to destroy and kill people. I mean, come on, it's getting ridiculous. Put the mothers out there. Let their mothers stand in line in front of the bloody place with their arms crossed and go through the mothers to get to the police. Honestly, everything will change. If the parents of these individuals stood up, I mean, I was so impressed by that grandmother that put her, I think it was a granddaughter, into the police, right? So impressed, because these kids have got this inflated sense of self where they think that they have a right to do what they want to do whenever they want to do it and how they want to do it. And it's disgusting. It's so disrespectful that the parents need to stand up now and do something. because most of them are kids and most of them need to be shut in a room somewhere and taken offline. That will make makes such a difference from the rabid mentality that these kids will have if you just unplug them. Crypto Justin says Brad had a meeting with the president. That just don't happen for nothing. No, it doesn't. Rising Green says trying to talk was crazy, and he also had a meeting with Steve Mnuchin. Yes, he did. Doji Bakamoto. Woof. November 19, Steve Mnuchin met with Brad Garlinghouse. Absolutely, yes, he did. And it was a step in the right direction that gave us everything that we needed to know. That there was talks going on at a high level. I mean, come on, it's not rocket science. And Rising Green said that was just after his return from some Swiss things with lots of really important people. Brad's wife is the daughter of the CEO of Bank of New York, BNY Mellon. Yep, absolutely. I knew that. Devon Steve says, I can't see the UK forgiving its ordinary folk of any debt. The class system just won't allow it, in my honest opinion. Do you know what? I think that if Trump manages to do it in America and it doesn't happen around the world, or if certain countries do it and certain countries don't, I think we'll see an uprising. You know, what Trump's doing is holding up. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. And he's basically waiting for the people to stand up and go, do you know what? I want that. And if you can't give me that, I'm going to vote somebody in that will. And that's literally as easy as it gets. Rising Green says, did you hear what Trump said about Michelle Obama's speech? He said it was recorded a long time ago. Yeah, I know, right? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What happened to Michael after all of this time? The royal family died with Diana. Yeah, that was such I cried for days when she died. That was the Queen of Hearts, we called her. And we really wanted her to be the Queen. Really wanted her to be the Queen. Because she was all about the children. And it still makes me wonder now, you know, did they get rid of her because she was all about the children? Good bloke unless you own a dog, casual crypto guy. I don't get that one, sorry. Devon Steve, get them a job so they haven't got the time to wander around demonstrating. Absolutely. Get them a job. Get them out there cleaning all the shit that they've actually put on all the walls. I mean, the graffiti is ridiculous. And also they need to black paint over that Black Lives Matter stuff that they've got sitting on the floor, on the roads. In front of Trump Tower and just down the road from the White House. That's such a kid thing to do, childish thing to do, not what you expect grown people to even think about doing. And it's just shows the mentality of these Democrat leaders. I mean, they just spiteful. I don't get it. Rising Green says British royal exit. Thinking it through, imagine what went on behind the scenes knowing that the Queen's being dethroned and the potentially huge land grab available. They can take the Queen stuff off of her personal stuff. They can't take it from the state. It's owned by the British people, places like Windsor, Buckingham Palace. That's not owned by the Queen. The Queen has her own estate. And she has her own private wealth, which can be taken off of her. But anything that's owned by the British people, off limits. Bill Gord says, all I wanted from this pandemic was some freaking zombies. It's been almost a year and no damn zombies. Do you know what I said the other day? What if raising from the dead is just these people that we thought was dead and they're not actually, because JFK Jr. Just saying. Just saying. I've got big hopes on that one. I mean, obviously, it's all pure speculation, isn't it? But it would be rather nice. It would be rather nice. Rising Green says, Bill, I know, right? I bought 2 chainsaws and a few baseball bats. Connie, how are you, honey? Long time no speak. We need to have a conversation. I need to give you a call at some point. Greenie, my zombie slaying would be legendary. Raw. Chicken or egg. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it will be 3 to 5 years before I see XRP at my sell price of citizens. I know you can't give financial advice, but I'm going to diversify into XLM, Solo, Zinfin, and VET. Thoughts? I've got all of them. I've got a little bit of an awful lot. So haven't got much of anything, but I've got a lot of different, because I've hedged my bets, and it makes sense to diversify. So don't ever rely on one coin, because if XR, they suddenly come out and say, right, we're going to use quant in the quantum financial system. I've got a little bit of that, but it's still good to have the coins, because, you know, bull run, all boats rise with the rising tide. So it's, I mean, VET's got an amazing use case. Solo is built on the Ledger, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. XLM Stellar, isn't it? Again, that's something that's synonymous with XRP. Zinfin, I don't know a lot about, but I bought some anyway. I tend not to. I don't tend to get too involved in the history behind all the coins. I listen to people, and I make my mind up whether it feels right to buy it, but I don't do the deep research that I've done on XRP, because I would be forever researching, and to be perfectly honest, I just know that crypto's right. So I did my research on crypto. Crypto's good, and it's a new asset class. It's going to be something that I believe, my personal opinion, not financial advice, that I believe has a really good future, and it's going to bring back some volatility to a stagnant market, and it's exactly what is needed. But not all of the coins are going to be there in the future. There's going to be a massive consolidation. I've said that all the way through. Some coins I think will fall off, but not the ones with a strong use case. So as long as what you've bought into have got a strong use case, I can't see that there'd be an issue, you know, because the strong use case ones, if they're not going to survive, they'll be absorbed into something else, and you just have a consolidation exercise into the, so say like XDCE and XDC, you're going to move the XDCs into the XDC, and there'll only be one. Kin redone the platform that it was on, and you had to redo the coins, so you had to do a swap, an asset swap or coin swap or whatever it is, which was a real pain in the ass, just saying, you know. And yeah, and it's one of those that I took a look at the Tika coins and bought a little bit of all, not all of them, but some of them, just to give myself a chance of, you know, if he says that they're going to do something. And my iExec RLC, you know, I put in $400, it went up by 550%. It's dropped at the moment, but you know, it's made a little bit, and $400 is what, 300 quid. So it was worth it. It was worth a punt. But that's what you do when you're buying. You're putting money into your pensions and your investments and your ISAs, and you're choosing the funds that you're in. You don't know, do you, unless you're taking financial advice. And there aren't really any financial advisors out there that are as au fait with crypto as most of us in the crypto community. So Devon Steve says these kids need to pull their trousers up. Yeah, right. What's that all about? I mean, apart from the fact their asses are hanging out and you can see their boxer shorts, which I find very disrespectful as well. I mean, you just want to go up and just lift them, you know, just pick them up by their trousers and lift them straight up so that they sit where they're supposed to sit. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. I'm too old. I don't get it. It's fine. Eggy, it depends on what your goal is. I want my assets to earn enough to support my lifestyle without working. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm 51 years old. I don't want to be, well, I'm not going to work. I'm retired. Did I tell you that? I'm retired. I'm very happily retired as well. But yeah, Zap, missed it. Don't remind me about Zap, Justin. I just so wanted, I missed it. Just, we'll leave it at that. That would have been a game changer for me. I could have probably paid my mortgage off if I'd have gone into that one. Bill says, while we're waiting on Moon, make up different plans and go through different scenarios. You can even run your plans by someone to get another optional idea. I do that. I've got streams going backwards where I talk about having a plan, you know, writing it down, taking the emotion out of it, you know, because when the bull run hits, and I'm pretty much, I think it started, but it could take 2 years to go up. And then it will go parabolic, you know, unless something else happens in the meantime. So we're going to have higher highs and higher lows, and some coins are going to rip the arse off you by dropping and then coming back, which happens to everything at the moment that I'm going into on futures. Even though I'm only playing with $100 at a time, fucking ridiculous. I'm doomed. I'm absolutely doomed. Anything that I go into in futures drops. Even when it's taken from what the calls are from the people that I take the calls from. So I'd say I lose on 3 out of 5 at the moment, but I'm only playing with a little bit. So yeah, it just keeps me occupied. Bill says, my plans keep changing on a daily, weekly basis, but every time one fails, I learn something new and reformulate. Good idea, Bill. And that's the thing. I mean, basically, we're going to be able to come on and do this interaction bit, and be able to have a really good discussion and a good chat about stuff and come up with ideas and support each other. That's the main thing. We're going to be able to support each other, you know, and keep ourselves real. You know, if ever I'd start to get an ego, slap me. I don't want to have any sort of ego. I'm perfectly happy toddling along. Got 17 people. 17 comes up again. 17 people in the chat. Got 10 thumbs up. 17. I see it everywhere I go. How good is that? How good is that? And you know what? 17 is the number. Can you see? QAnon. My t-shirt. It says it's going to be biblical. Where we go one, we go all. And you know what? I thoroughly back that 100%. Might be in the UK, but where we go one, we go all. And you know what? Somebody just ran away. There's only 16 now. Who wins? God wins. And I tell myself that every single bloody day, because we're living through some awesome times at the moment. I know it's tough, and I know it can be scary, but as long as we keep each other up and positive, we'll get through it. We got to just got to suck it in and just be happy to be watching this weird movie that we're actually physically living in. How good is that? Tony says, hi Boo, you asked me to remind you about the bogus calls about tax evasion, tax fraud, or London prefix phone numbers. Oh yeah, obviously scammers are well at work in the UK at the moment. Not sure if you get the same sort of thing over in America, but basically Tony and a few of his friends have had some phone calls from people pretending to be from the IRS, or I mean, it's not called the IRS here. So Yeah, from the Inland Revenue, and basically just to threaten you that you've got to phone them up because they're going to send someone around to arrest you. And it's like, really? Have you ever had those phone calls? It's like, what do you think I am? Stupid? No. Well, apart from anything else, they wouldn't phone and leave you a pre-recorded message that gives you threats for a start, and you would get a proper letter through from the Inland Revenue about your tax returns. And most people are employed, and tax returns are not even an issue. So I'm going to have to change my laptop at some point because the colour keeps going. Casual Crypto Guy, North Korea is asking for dog owners to give up their pets if the food shortage gets worse. Yeah, I think somebody needs to do a food drop on North Korea and save the pets, because that's just disgusting. In times of lack, yes, right, I do get it. That, you know, if your kids are starving, you will feed them whatever you can. But there's also, I mean, there's some intensive farming that can be done to provide food in a food shortage. It doesn't necessarily have to go and take people's dogs. That's part of their family. XRPI says you have a good selection there. DD1, yeah, Solo is built on the ledger. Tokenized stocks. Oh, got it right. I get lost sometimes. Bill Gould says, Eggy, I've been working on an exit plan for over 2 years and I'm nowhere close to something concrete. You're going to have to decide something fast when it starts to go up. XRP Chance says, time got away from me. Couldn't get on earlier, boo-boo. Well, welcome in, XRP Chance. And yeah, you're here now. That makes a difference. DD1 says, have you got a UD domain yet? But no, I keep starting it and getting part way through. I need to do it on my laptop, not my phone. It's just, yeah, it gets away from me. I will get it, and I will. My .crypto, yeah, that's going to be, yeah, I'm going to like that. I don't know what I'm going to call it, though. That's another reason why it's not done. Phallic Doctor says, without cryptocurrencies, my dark internet sex dungeon would make no money. Absolutely, Phallic Doctor. It's one of those things that you can send money, but just to let you know, it is traceable. So yeah, be aware of a knock on the door fairly soon. Chicken Red says, Crypto Justin, what is $10? Zap. Yep. Really? How much is it now? Bouncing between 13 and 19 cents. Not financial advice, yada, yada, yada. XRP Chance says, did you see my tweet on the not a security video was mentioned on DIA YouTube's channel? Claim to fame at last. Woo! I didn't. I haven't been on Twitter much today. I've jumped on and off a couple of times, but I've been watching YouTube videos all day. I get lost in it. You know, watching Congress and the White House. I love the what's her name? McKinney, the White House lady. I'll think of her name in a second. She's amazing. Kayleigh. She rips them a new one. She is so good. She is awesome. She is absolutely awesome. I love her, and she's the best person to be there. Devon Steve says, looks like we're to change our XDCE for XDC. I have been informed to get my XDCE onto their wallet. Oh, bugger. Okay, so Chicken and Red's gonna get a small bag of Zap. Maybe it wasn't Zap that I was thinking of. What's gone up like 5,000% recently? Was it Zap? Anyway, XRPI, Boo Boo, do you have any meetups planned? Yes, not actually planned, but I've been asked to set one up. because you know we've got, right, I'm going to do something the 12th of September, probably around the Birmingham area. So I think the 12th of September is the Saturday. Bear with me one moment. Yeah, 12th of September. Probably around Birmingham. And yeah, we only had 5 of us turn up at the last one. So it was nice. It was a weekend and we just spoke about just about everything. So Scotty came down, which was really nice. We had Davey there. And then V8 staffy came, a guy called Dan, and obviously myself. There was a few that said that they were coming that didn't because they had a lot to drink on the Friday night and couldn't get themselves together for the Saturday, which is fine. You know, they missed out. But yeah, it's really nice to be around like-minded people because, you know, I'm talking to you lot here and I'm reading the chat and we're sort of interacting. But how good is it, Justin? You've been to one of my meetups and a couple of my meetups, I think. And basically it's just a chance to you're there 12 till 12. You know, you've got 12 hours if you choose to stay for the whole day and then the evening. And all you do is talk about crypto and what you've got and your plans and how you feel, and you're around like-minded people, you know, that don't look at you like you're completely retarded when you start talking about crypto. How good is that? And it's just so supportive. It supports each other. And then we've got in October, we've got it's November, 10th of October, put that in your diary. That's going to be the Love for Crypto conference. That's the DLT conference, DLT UK. That's based in Manchester. That's at the Manchester Conference Centre, which is also a hotel at the same time. And basically, yeah, I'll be there from probably the Wednesday night, October. Depends on university, what days I have to go into university. But yeah, I intend on getting there on the Wednesday night, if not the Thursday night, because it's about a 6-7 hour drive for me to get up there. And then I'll probably drive back sometime on the Monday, depending on uni, obviously. But yeah, that is going to be amazing, and that's just a weekend, and that's everybody getting together. It was awesome last time. 125 people turned up. What about this social distancing crap? Big car park, mate. No, fuck off. What when they asked, I booked 2 tables of 6 because I thought there was about 12 people supposed to up to 12 people said that they were coming, which was fine. You know, it never disappoints because if one person turns up, I'm happy. And I know that Scotty was there, so because he turned up on the Friday, so it was good to chat because, but it's been a while since we met up, and it was just like, and it's just. They turned around and said, "Do you all come from the same family, or have you been together before?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Well, you know, are you sure you want to have 2 tables and 12 people together?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. It's a scamdemic, completely. You know, it's max 6 persons indoors, max 6 per table. I booked 2 tables, but yeah, it's great to get together. I mean, we've had. I think I had 12 people, 14 people at one meet. That was the Birmingham meet. More people came. So that will be, I might go back to the same one as well. See if we can have that corner again. Because it was just a good day. How to lose friends, be involved in network marketing and crypto. Ha! XRPI, what do you do network marketing? Because I'm in network marketing as well. Be interested in how many go to the LFC event. We're probably not expecting as many people as last time, because people are still scared. I mean, I'm pretty blasé about the whole thing. I never changed a thing with the pandemic, but yeah, it was one of those personal choices. I took a look. You can look back on my videos. I mean, I've got videos that tell people to do some critical thinking. You know, go and check out the numbers. Go and check out the death toll for the whole country. You know, this year against last year, because there's not much difference. In fact, they're lower this year than it is last year. I think I looked at the 24th of July, and for the same week last year, there was 500 people more died last year than this year. So, just saying, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. But yeah, I do network marketing. I do energetics, which is magnetic jewelry. So I've got a bit of a achy arm, so that's a magnet, and it's 2-piece, nice strong magnet, copper on, can't really see it because it's too dark, copper one side, and then basically copper goes against the skin. You put it over the area of pain, and what it does is it reduces, if you've got muscular tension, it reduces that, but also at the same time, if there's something wrong, it helps to heal it quicker. So yeah, so that's my network marketing. I've done loads, but this is the only one that I've actually found that is I mean, they're all good products that I've done, but it's a really good marketing plan for me. So I've made money. I've made money doing it, and it's something that more and more people are being aware of, because it helps with pH level as well. So once the restrictions are lifted and we can go back, I'll go back to doing my stands. I like to do stands in different places, especially if they're like spiritual events and that sort of thing. Amazing people, and I get to interact with people face to face, telling them all about it. Tanya Fathel says, all we do with the meetup, she's took about Chris Brown and associated subjects and then get squishy. I was talked about Chris Brown. Who's Chris Brown? I don't start drinking till at least 7 o'clock, thank you. And then I get squiffy. I'll start on the gin and tonics around about 7 or 8 o'clock. But the last time there was a load of us staying in the hotel, the one in Birmingham, there was a load of us staying in the hotel. We all ended up in the Michael Routledge's room because we just wanted to keep on talking. We bought a couple of bottles from the bar before we left. Paralytic to start with, and literally sat in this room talking shit for I don't know, a couple of hours. Ordered pizza in, had pizza while we were sitting there, and then I went and passed out in my room. My sister had given up and gone to bed at that point. That was funny, but hey ho, you know, that's just the way it is, and it's really nice to get together and talk to like-minded people. And more girls turned up to that one as well, which was really quite nice. And not enough females come. It's I know that girls, when I talk to the guys say, oh, well, you know, they're not interested. But you know, they'll be really interested when they find out the numbers. So definitely worthwhile doing. But yeah, right. So 1 hour 14 minutes. I think that's enough for a Friday night. I've got a bottle of wine waiting for me, so I'm going to have a glass of wine or two, and I'll be back on tomorrow night. Sunday night though, I'm going to do a really well, it depends how many people turn up and how interactive you get, but I really want to on Sunday night do one that's unless something comes up in the meantime, but direct it into chatting with you about, you know, what the lockdowns meant. And if you want to send me, I mean, a lot of you, XRP Boo Boo on Twitter, if you want to send me stuff that I can read out, if you want to put together quite a long chat rather than having a limited chat onto the live chat here that I can read out, and then we can chat about. Perfectly happy to do that. I think it's really important for us to talk about what we've learned from this lockdown, from this this time, and maybe try to discuss how we'd like it to go forward. Because if we have that discussion here, which you can share with your friends, and then it will give you an idea of how you want it to, and then you can go and have that conversation with your family, with your friends, you know, with people on the bus, on the train, and just get it out there. You know, that what we've learned, we need to learn something from this. Although it's been a fake out and everything like that, you know, families have got closer, and the earth has managed to breathe. And it's one of those things that basically we need to turn that into something positive. And I think that's a really positive way of doing it. Or not. I mean, let me know if you don't want to do that. That's fine. I can do other stuff. But to have something that's a little bit more structured, rather than me coming on here and just chatting shit for an hour and a quarter. Chicken and Egg says, I love crypto, haven't made or lost money. Here for the big one, XRP. Hours and hours spent watching and reading about XRP. It's an addiction. Fuck the normal people. Absolutely. Because we are 1% of 1%. Hello, Red Dog Leader. We are 1% of 1%, you know, that know about XRP and invest in it. It's 1% of the whole world knows about crypto, although that is getting more and more, especially now that our Charlie Ward is bringing it to the normies. And it's one of those things that we are the 1% of crypto that invest in XRP, or have spent some quality time researching it. You know, I've stopped researching it. I am so happy with XRP. It's unbelievable, because I just have that. I've done enough research for me to feel comfortable not to have to research it anymore. I love all the little bits of news that comes out, and I keep up with some of it, but I don't go looking for it anymore. I don't need to. You know, I've got other stuff. I'm really into the geopolitical stuff. I'm really into the NESARA stuff. And I would be so interested if I could get involved with the NESARA stuff, because I would love to be able to be part of that movement. You know, if it comes in, and I really hope it does, to be able to be part of that would be absolutely bloody awesome. And to see you later, Bill. And to be able to get involved with that, I think would be awesome. So if anyone ever knows Charlie Ward or can talk to Charlie Ward, throw him my way. Say I'm signing up. I'd like to sign up for whoever is dealing with the UK. Don't even mind the GISAR a bit, the world stuff. Tony says, sorry, Boo, that last message didn't make any sense. Speech to text. Meant to say, hope we do at the meetups talk about XRP and go on associated subjects and then get squishy. Yeah, absolutely. Chicken or egg. We love shit talk. Never change. Be yourself. Oh, I'll never change. Do you know that? I could become, I don't know, a NESARA millionaire, you know, if they decided to pass out loads of money to people, and I'd still come on here and chat shit. I might do it from a beach somewhere with a cocktail or two, but yeah, I can't see that would ever change. Glad I caught the stream. Many thanks, says Chicken Away. Thank you. So right, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world. And just remember, who wins? God wins. We're in really exciting times. Do not let it get you down. You know, there's people around that will lift you up if you're feeling down. I'm here. Okay? All right. 1 hour, 20 minutes. See you later. Good morning. Bonjour.